Well, it is that time once again for another SDG Uncut. Just you and me here in the shop, making a bait, no editing, so you can see the whole process. Today, I think we're going to make some core shot crappie baits using the Epic Bait Molds backup. This little dude right here. You need to be careful when I open it because it's got rods through it for the core shot. If you're not familiar, that's what she looks like. So let's get started, and first thing we need to do, get a half a cup of Plastisol in the microwave, about a minute and a half, and while we do that, we can put some oil on these rods because you need oil on the rods after you shoot the shells so the shells come off easily. Got my worm oil here. Open this bad boy up, show you what the inside looks like with the rods this time. Yeah. See that? So each one of these little rods needs to come out. We need to get those oiled up. Not a ton, you just need enough so that the shells come off nice and easy. Get a paper towel here, make quick work of it. Our plastic's going to be ready in 40 seconds. So just kind of hit those nice and easy. Just like that. Rub them around. Beautiful. Now we can bring our mold back in. Lay those in. So essentially this middle portion here is the shell. The tail goes all the way through for a core shot. Awesome sauce. And look at that. Beep, beep, beep. We are right on time. And close that guy up. This is an asymmetrical mold, so we don't have to worry about top and bottom or anything like that. Let's go ahead and, I was going to clamp this, but let's check the plastic before I do. Make sure that it is ready to use. Get my glove on. Now, it's got some more cooking to do, as you can see. Not quite ready. So let's give it a good stir here. BaitPlastics 242 low odor, ultra clear, as is usual, but yeah, you can definitely tell. See how that's not even close. Thought a minute and a half would just about do it for, I guess it's a little over a cup and a half, but no biggie. I got a clamp on, or get the clamps on the mold anyhow. So we'll put that in there for another 30 seconds, and we'll get these clamps on. I like to use, I think they're Jorgensen. Yeah, there's ones that you can kind of, they're speed clamps, and you pump them or whatever to get them tight. I used to use those, but between the heat of the mold and just the power of that speed clamp, I've never had good luck with them. But these guys are all metal. These thicker plastic pieces seem to hold up well to the heat, but each to their own. I know a lot of guys that use the speed clamp type deals, and they use them with a lot of success. So, not judging, just never worked out for me. Let's see if this is now ready. Give her a quick stir. I still see just a little bit of resin on the very bottom. I think it's going to need another, yeah, it's 335, so let's bump it another 20 seconds. And while we do that, I can tell you what we're going to use for the core. So if you've been around the channel for any amount of time, you know that here lately I've had kind of a mini obsession with using hollow shift powders with black flake, letting that black flake kind of act as a base. We're not doing that today, but we are going to use hollow shift stuff, well, not hollow shift, 8-bit baits stuff. I think a core using just siren scales, this is Glimmer Fin, It's kind of got this greenish, I mean, you can see some pinks in there, different things. So this one, along with spiking it with gold crushed rupees, and that's it. Let that be the clear shell, really sparkly. I think that could have some potential. Okay, I'm sure that this is ready now. Give it a quick stir. Oh yeah, like 380. 20 seconds was a little much for that, but that's all right. All right, here we go. I do have some micro bubbles in there. This wasn't a normal, or if this wasn't a uncut, I would put that through the vac chamber, but we're gonna deal with it today as is. First up will be the glimmer fin. I usually do 1/4 teaspoon for a cup of siren scales, so let's go with 1/8. I almost have 3/4 teaspoon, or 3/4 cup rather, in here, but it's a little shy, so we'll do a heaping 1/8 to kind of compensate. Give that a stir first. Yeah, that's really nice. That is going to look super awesome as a shell. Let's go ahead and beef it up though with a little bit of that gold crushed rupee that I showed you earlier. This, I don't know, I was going to do a 32nd, but I think we have room to do a full 16th. So let's do a 16th. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Woohoo! Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. What's our temp? 330. Perfect. Alright, cool. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Back you guys up so you have a better shot at the shot. And we'll go ahead and get our shells going. Move the old mold over. We only need a single injector today, although, you know, these core shots and all that, you could actually do, what would it be? If you tripled both the shell and the core, I guess you could have a 6-color bait. Is that right? Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. But we're just gonna do the traditional. Let me show you the setup here. Yeah, nice and simple. Don't need the 8-ounce, but that's what I have as a single injector. There we go. And this takes hardly anything. I mean, the injection barely went down. I am holding it a little bit more, a little light pressure, just to make sure that we don't get many, if any, dents in those shells. The metal rods, right? The core shot rods are cool, so it's going to cause it to cool a little quicker, and that can cause problems. A lot of guys that have the core shot, what's it called? The core shot stick bait. They run into issues like that because that metal rod in the middle cools it down so dang fast. All right, let's get the other cup in the mic so it can be warming up while this one cools down. Get the rest of this out of the way. I thought for the core we would do a new pearl powder that I picked up from Lureworks. I don't know what BB stands for, but that's what it's called. It's called BB Blue. Right there. Super bright, kind of a really strong blue. So I thought we'd do that, and we would spike it with some Barlow's holographic purple. That would look nice. So we've got green, gold in the shells, and then blue with some purple in the core. Sounds good to me. I think it's a little juicy just in the top. The baits themselves will be good to go. So let's take a look at our back you guys up a bit. Take a look at our shells here. Oh yeah. Just got to be careful with the sprue. Sprue's the part that's got the loose, some of that loose plastic still. But there you go. Those look super dandy, and you should just be able to pull them out just like that, because we oiled those rods, coming out nice and easy. I don't see really any denting at all, which is fantastic. I'm sure the smaller smaller shells, right? It's not a big giant 5-inch stick bait, but that certainly helps. So let's pull each one of these off, and we just place it down in there. Oops, guys can't see, sorry. There we go. There. I also heard the ding. Let me put these down just for a second and check on that. See if I put it on for 145 this time instead of a minute and a half. Still a little bit milky, but I think another 30 seconds. We'll do 40 seconds just to make sure that we're ready. And when we do the core shot portion of this, we'll probably warm this thing up again, because we want the core shot portion to be just a little bit hotter to encourage the bond between the shell and the core. Alright, back to what we were doing here. Each one of these shells in. It looks like the very bottom, I could have had that clamp a little tighter. See that? I have just a little bit of flashing. Oh, sorry. A little bit of flashing on that bottom one for some reason. Still fish, it'll be fine. Guess I didn't Hercules that bottom clamp as much as I should have. Okay, almost there. This is the longest, most tedious part of it, obviously. But these should look pretty daggone tasty when they pop out. So you guys tell me in the comments what would be your favorite crappie bait core shot if you owned a mold like that. What would you do first? I'd be curious to hear about it. Alright, put that on, seals up, no edges, beautiful. Now we can put the clamps on and use my big boy hands this time to clamp it shut. I did hear the ding, so hopefully that's ready to go. Alright, that's ready. Let's check the plastic. Are you ready? Oh yeah, 381 again, like exactly 381, just like the last one. That's kind of weird. Alright. So for this one, the blue, I would normally go with 1/8 of a teaspoon for a cup on this. So we're going to go to a 1/16. Still has some gold on it, but that's all right. Yeah, it's almost to a 3/4, so we'll do a heaping 1/16. Never used this before. I might not actually need that much. That might completely saturate it. I don't know. We'll find out together here. Try not to slap it up against the side of the walls like I tend to. Yeah. But that is pretty, wow. On the stick, that's pretty darn translucent. I'm a little surprised. See that? Look how translucent that is. Interesting. Well, let's put our flake in first. And we can put more powder in if we think we need to. Sometimes you got to go to 1/4 to get the saturation level that you need. That's a 1/16 as well, by the way, which is an awful lot for a half of a cup. I guess this is 3/4, but that looks nice. I like that. Do we want to go more? My gut, I don't know what my gut says. Let's just do another 30-second It's not a ton, but it's at least some. It's probably going to be fine without it, but I really want the core to stand out and be obvious, and I kind of want to be able to fish this in not super clear water, but just a little bit stained, so I could use, yeah, I mean, I can still see the translucency, but it definitely does look a little bit more saturated, so that's good. I was saying about stained water, if I'm going to err on the side of one thing or another, I'd like that to stand out. So this was 326, which if we were just shooting a normal bait, that would be perfection. This one though, we need it to be a little hotter. So let's go with like 18 seconds. I did not clean out my other injector yet, so we will grab the second 8-ounce that I have, empty as it is. We'll send you guys back a bit so you can see it better. There we go. Alright, what is our temps here? 367, perfect. By the time we get to actually shooting this thing, cold injector, it will probably be closer down to like 350-ish. And even that's probably actually a little bit warm, but that's alright. Okay. And again, hardly injected at all because it's such a small mold. I am holding pressure here just to make sure that I can encourage the bond. And that should, woo, yeah, that should do it. Beautious. I like the look of it on the injector, huh? That looks pretty good. I think the saturation's pretty good on it. Alright. Now we just gotta wait for this to cool, which unfortunately, because it was like 350 degrees in the cup, is gonna take just a little bit longer than usual. Although, very small mold, there's not a whole lot of surface area that needs to cool down, so I think we'll be alright. Tell you what we'll do. We'll get our pucks out. We'll take a look at them side by side and see what we think of these. Kind of combined together. Hopefully this has cooled off enough. I was just talking to a guy the other day about injectors this size versus injectors that are wider. And you can definitely use wider injectors. N2's got some Generation 2, Series 2 injectors that are wider. You just got to remember that because it's wider, it takes longer for the plastic inside to cool. And I told him a story about watching a guy on YouTube who was using a wide injector. He forgot about that, and he had his hand here, and he plunged it to catch the puck. And the wide injector, it hadn't solidified inside, got hot plastic all over his hand. So you can use them, you just got to remember, got to give it a little extra time. All right, those two together are looking pretty sweet, huh? See that going right through that? I think it has potential. I think our thing is, our mold here is cooled off enough to be able to check it out. All right, here we go. The Epic Crappie. Actually, it's just a backup for anything. You having a hard day? This is gonna catch them. 2 inches, I believe, is all it is. Oh yeah. Oh, come on out. Oh, those are gorgeous. Look at those shimmery green. Oh man. And I think we got good saturation. You can still kind of see some light coming through, but you can definitely see the core shot Those are freaking sweet. Oh man, Siren Scale looks phenomenal. The crushed rupees along with look really good. I think that gold accent, really small particles here and there. That is super sweet. Let me pull one off so you can see it. You can see it up close. Look at that little dude. And it's got a little paddle tail, or a little flanged tail right there on the end, so you get some kicking action, real quick and finessey kicking action. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Gorgeous. Look at that Siren Scale sing. Think they're gonna eat it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Will they eat it? Was this a success? Hopefully you guys enjoyed another Uncut. I certainly did. So until the next time, see you guys in the shop.